Hello, friends. My name's Aaron Ciotti. Everybody calls me Gangly Man. Ciotti, that's what they call me. I guess I must have crashed and that file ended. Welcome to 5-Inch Friday. Cheers. Tonight, I will be suffering through Kirin Ichiban. And by suffering through, it's okay. It's alright. It's fine. Look at that sticker. Don't you want one of those stickers? Head on over to CiottiFPV.com and you can get one. It's on my Etsy store. And there's a whole bunch of other good stuff going on over on CiottiFPV.com. This is my full-time thing. If you'd like me to be able to keep doing this, I need everybody to kick in a little bit. Just a couple bucks here and there, you know. Just a couple shekels. Oh, God. I just watched I Love You Man recently, and he says shekels in there. I'm finishing up a TrueRC antenna order. Thanks for all the help today on Facebook, Hugo. If you throw in some swag/stickers, I'll throw them in with all of my giveaways on my live streams. CiottiFPV. And continue. Yes, so if you go to myname.com, a bunch of different things going on here. The thing that helps me the most is the Patreon page, and that's the thing that, in my opinion, has the most value for you guys. Lots of really good stuff going on over there. Audio versions of most of these live streams, additional live streams, basically 1 to 2 to 3 additional hours of live streaming pretty much every single day by being a patron. You'll get access to the Discord every single time before I stream. You're going to get hit on the Discord. You're going to get hit with an email. You're going to get hit on the Facebook, the super secret Facebook group. I've got a bunch of articles over there on PID tuning and filter tuning, how to do it the easy way so that you can actually do it and not get totally overwhelmed and confused. And lots of giveaways. So join the Patreon or I'll kill you with a shovel. You pick. Bunch of my social media nonsense. Here's the Etsy with the stickers and a bunch of random hardware that you might need. Over on Fiverr, I can help you fly a little bit better. I'm doing flight instruction, flight coaching. I have a pretty long history in driving instruction at the racetrack, and I've transitioned that right on over to FPV, and it's been going really, really well. The folks that I've worked with have improved like a lot and have had a blast in the process, so as have I. Also, tuning help, build planning, and video editing going on over there on the Fiverr page. T-shirts and mugs and sweatshirts over on Teespring. Here's my link over, here's my page over on FPV Exchange. I'll show you that in a second. And then look at all these affiliate links. If you're ever doing an order on any of these websites, if you hit my affiliate link before you check out, I will get 1 to 6% of that order. Amazon, FPV Cycle, Get FPV, oh my god, FPV Crate, Banggood, whole bunch. Here's my page over on FPV Exchange. Here's a bunch of the stickers that I'm selling over on Etsy. Here's a bunch of the hardware. These things are for sale directly here on FPV Exchange. These motors, the stick ends, the shirts. And then here's a couple of my items over on Fiverr. If you're not on FPV Exchange yet, get on over there. You're missing out. It is a wonderful website built by an amazing guy that's literally saving lives all day in a hospital and somehow still finds time to make an awesome website for us to get rid of our old gear and waste money on new gear. In the chat, Richard Motoref, Ryzex, Mr. Z, Alpha Sloth, Richard again, Vern Kelk, Esk Race, FPV Trucker, Vern Kelk again, Monkey Shine FPV, Dan Richmond, Big Daddy, Squints FPV in the house. What's up, Adam? He says, I have still yet to fly there. It looks so good. You probably won't be able to, Adam. The only reason that I got to fly there was because of the pandemic. It's a hotel, so it's like always way, way, way busy and sketchy. So, yeah, I look back at my footage from there and I'm like, ugh, I was flying like a bag of shit. But that's about it. Probably never gonna get to fly there again. June Loco, Jacob Schultz, Somatic FPV, Vern Kelk, Adrian Brown, Northern Tier, and License to Drive. What's up, everybody? If you'd like to talk directly to me, all you've got to do is type my name. If you type CiottiFPV, it's going to light up in orange for me, and I'm going to know that you're talking to me. If you don't type my name, I'm going to think that you guys are talking amongst yourselves, which is something that this chat here on my channel does a lot and is pretty awesome. The folks in the chat have become really, really good friends. They also hang out over on the Discord channel, which you get access to as a patron. So yeah, join us. We call ourselves The Collective. Yes, that's how nerdy we are. But no, we don't care. Because nerds are cool now, man. It's 2021. Get with it! I don't know. FPV Trucker has 345 miles to drive. Take me in. Nice. This is probably going to be a longer one, so yeah, I'll be with you for probably the whole damn time, FPV Trucker. Maybe not the whole time, but most of it. June Logo says, what's up? Jacob Schultz says, what's up? Richard says, what day is your birthday? It is tomorrow, Richard. Pray for me. Ryzex says, how much of a wait is there for your Fiverr tune sessions? Wanted to see if you could help me dive deeper into some black box tuning. Black box tuning, Ryzex, is actually not something that I really do. I use black box to troubleshoot problems, but I don't use it for tuning. For actual tuning, I just use the fact that I've been doing it for over 4 years, and I use my ear because you can hear P and D gain oscillations pretty easily, and motor heat. And yeah, that works incredibly well. Yes, you can go a little bit farther with black box, but in going farther with black box, you get to the point where you're on the razor's edge of what's possible, and that's not where I think tunes should be, because with a tune that's on the razor's edge, if you go a mile out and you smack into a tree and bend a propeller, you're not getting that quad back. Using just checking your motor heat and just listening for trilling oscillations, which are very obvious, you can get your tune to like 98% perfect, and then that extra 2% is your leeway so that you can pound on that rig and still have it come home, basically. Or if you're lazy like me, pound on the rig, don't bother changing the props out, just fold them back somewhat straight and just fly more. In terms of how much of a wait, there actually is not a wait. I don't get enough action over on Fiverr to where there's ever really going to be, well, not ever, but yeah, there's no rate. So no wait rather. So yeah, book me, pick a day and a time. Actually, give me a couple options. Give me a couple days, a couple times, because you know I got the streams and life and all kinds of nonsense going on. And yeah, anything other than black box, I can certainly help you out with. But yeah, I really only use black box to troubleshoot like straight up problems, like, you know, the right front arm keeps dropping, what the hell's going on. Although if the right front arm is dropping, it's either the motor or the ESC. So usually I really don't even have to use black box. But if it's like a so Squints FPV Adam just built a Betaflight rig and it's doing something really strange that I can't figure out with other methods. So I said, hey, just turn black box onto a switch in your modes tab, flip the switch to get it logging, make it do the behavior, and then flip the switch off, and we'll take a look at that log and see what the hell's going on. I might actually have to send that log to Mark Spatz or a couple of other guys that I know that are black box gurus. But regardless, you know, I can get it figured out. It's just not something that I've done. I started to dive into black box, I think like 3 or so years ago. And it was great. And I really started to learn it. And then in talking to Ryan Harrell, I wanted to like start to learn it a little bit more. And in talking to Ryan Harrell, he kind of talked me out of it. He's like, he basically said, like, the amount of time that it'll take you to really learn black box, by that point, like, you'll kind of know how to troubleshoot that stuff without black box anyway. And he told me basically what a lot of other folks have told me, which is that when you know black box, you have a tendency to obsess. And like when he said that, I was like, don't teach me black box because I will never leave it, and I will just obsess over it and it'll just eat my life. And he's like, yeah. He kind of admitted that, like, yeah, it's a lot of data, and it enables you to just go absolutely off the reservation. And I know me, and I know that I'm unable to not do stuff like that. So yeah, I chose to not learn it, and it's never held me back. Like, there's never been a moment where it was like, damn, I wish I knew black box. So yeah, there you go. Ear and fingers to check motor heat. That's all you need. That'll get your tune to 98%. And if you think I'm full of shit, how about this? I just sent a black box log over to Chris Rosser and Kebab from my glide frame, and both of them said it's the cleanest black box log they've ever seen. They're actually both bugging me to take pictures of how I've built my glide rigs, because they can't figure out why my log is so much cleaner than all the other ones that they've seen. So if you think I'm full of shit not needing to know black box, you're wrong. Eat me. Sorry, I'm not sorry. That was well deserved. If you think I'm full of shit. License to Drive says, the package you sent arrived today. Thank you. Now I can start building my shark bite toothpick with those 1202 motors, but I'll have to extend the wires. It's okay. I'm good at soldering. License to Drive, didn't I mail that package like a month and a half ago? Holy Christ. If that's the package I think it is, man, that took a long time to get there. 05 Alabama saying hello. Chomper saying hello. Jackalope saying happy Friday indeed. And it looks like I'm caught up on chat. I got my water at the ready because I have to drink water with beer. Because beer wrecks my stomach, which is one of the reasons why I don't usually drink it. I forgot to fly the 4-inch rig. God damn it. It's sitting right there by the door. Well, it is still light out. I'm going to go fly the 4-inch rig because I'm sure that you guys want to see it. So let me put on some really old videos real quick for 4 minutes, basically. I'm going to go fly the 4-inch rig so that you guys can see what it flies like. Let's go to FPV edits and stream canceled. Nah, I'll never cancel the stream. I'll just make you guys watch my old shitty edits. Here is the 2 months that I spent with Kiss. This is the best I ever got Kiss to fly. So this is kind of interesting. You can sort of compare this to all of my other edits. And yeah, here you go. Here's what it's like to fly old limited flight software. I'll be back in 3 to 5 minutes. That just got me copyright nailed for this stream. More than likely. Hold on. Let me get Epidemic Sounds on. it'll just it's no big deal. It'll just demonetize the stream, and I don't monetize these anyway. I just try to keep the number of copyright things at a minimum because of things that have happened to me in the past. Only streamers have to really worry about it. All right, here you guys go. I'll be right back.
say I never told you. Go, get out of my mind. I refuse to be a soldier. Waste my time. Don't say
Tarsier won't fucking record. Come on, man. Are you kidding me? It's gone, it flew away. I've flipped the camera like this, but the camera is left to right. So when I went to turn right, everything turned to the left, and I disarmed. Yeah. Welcome to FPV. I would love to know why the Tarsier won't record. Other than, you know, it's just the worst. And I guess there's a chance that this memory card is too slow. I'll put a faster memory card in it. Man, Cadix, you really fucking test me. Banana memory card, 33 megabytes available. That ain't gonna work. Is there a file I can delete? Wow. What's up, Havboard? Come on, there's gotta be a file on here I can easily delete. Please, please! Please. Please. Come on. Just one? I can delete this one, but it's only 9 megabytes. Come on, please. This is a nightmare. I went out there and armed it and it just blew pollen all up in my face. Oh wait, what's this? Is this from the tree tunnel spot? Nope. Come on! I hate to just blindly delete files, but I'm about to. If I try to copy it over, it'll take 100 days and nights. Oh, I can delete that for sure. Yes! Okay. Oh, come on, man. It is not in use! Nothing is in use! Okay, we're good. Alright, so this is a faster memory card. So that's one potential problem solved. But now I gotta plug another fucking remote in. And flip-flop the camera. Thank God I left this little pigtail on here. Jeez! If I had just made that one change and not left the pigtail on here, I would be so angry right now. Because I would have to rip this all apart again. Alright. Let's get you plugged in, little friend. Oh my God, come on. Here we go. Alright. Use the tweezers to hold this. And then take this. And plug it in like that, or like that, or maybe like that. Yes, okay. All right. All right, menu. Video setting. Horizontal inverted. Yay! Return. Save and exit. Whew, boy. What an adventure this rig has been. Okay. Come in here, grab this, unplug it. Yeah. Okay. Tuck that back up out of the way. Whew. Okay. Let's see if this goddamn thing starts recording. I'll bet you it doesn't. Nope. What a fucking nightmare. Oh my god, Cadix, are you for real? Is this real life? What the hell's flashing yellow mean? Well, let me hack the mainframe with my goddamn phone. I don't think flashing yellow is a good thing. I have no idea. It doesn't give me anything in the goggles. I'll just unplug it and replug it. Absolute nightmare. Every time I've had to deal with this Cadix, it's been a complete nightmare. So if I hold one of these buttons, it'll put it into some crazy Wi-Fi Bluetooth mode, and you only know that by looking at this side of it and seeing if some green light comes on. There's the green light. So now I gotta go into the mainframe. I gotta try to hook up to it, and now I gotta try to remember the effing password again, probably. Now, I remembered the password. Auto record is on. Yep. This Cadix used to work. Now it's just decided not to. Connect. Meanwhile, I got this 6S battery wailing away on this ESC. I gotta keep an eye on it. Yeah, see, the ESC's overheating. I can't. Well, there it goes. Why are you not auto-recording, dude? Come on. Why the hell is it on 1080p? Wow, this is such a nightmare. I mean, I guess I gotta just try to like put the battery on it as quick as possible, hit record in the program, and then go out and fly it. Since nothing else is working. Oh, there it goes. Now I'm in the setup screen. Finally. What? Oh, he didn't. I'm sorry. No, that's not gonna work. Well, I'm probably not gonna be able to play the footage. But... no SD card. Great. Okay, so that explains it. So one of the things about the Tarsier is that every single time you turn it on, you have to I forgot about this. You have to format the card. So every time you go to use it, you have to deal with the app because you have to go in and format the memory card, and I can't do that with this memory card because it's got all that useful stuff on it. So I got to go back to this slow. But see, this card's gonna be too slow. This card might be fast enough, but I gotta make sure that it's emptied out. The last thing I need is you telling me inactivity alarm. All right, let's see. Okay, what? Okay, this card doesn't have any stuff on it. I don't think it's going to be fast enough, but I can at least initialize it and, format it, rather. Great. Or I can drop it on the floor, you know, either or. Alright, come on. Jesus Christ on a cracker. Okay. Alright, so I gotta get it ready to fly it because the auto start just doesn't work for no real reason. Well, it's because the card's not initialized. I guess there is a reason. The reason is because Caddx makes products that are impossible to use. Alright, so there's the green light. So I gotta come on here. I gotta go to Wi-Fi. I gotta connect to it in Wi-Fi. And then I gotta go to the horrible Caddx application and just wait. And hopefully the ESC doesn't fry. Okay. So while I'm waiting, I'll get the battery all tucked in because I'm gonna have to hit record and then like run outside. So let me get Epidemic Sounds ready for you guys. More of what you like. Okay, there's that. Here's this. Come on, man, please. You know what it might be? I don't think there is an automatic record function on this. I don't see it anywhere. Wow, this is unbelievable. Now it's frozen again. I don't know. Is it... Now it just registered me pushing the record button. That's a good start. But it's not actually doing anything. The green light is still on. Now the yellow light is on. Yeah, this ESC is going to catch on fire. I just have to go. There's not going to be any footage of it, but whatever. It's Holy battery sag, Batman. These batteries have been plugged in and charged for a long time, though, so I don't know how much I can blame it on the batteries. But that was a very short flight. Flew really good. I wish I could show you guys. I wish Caddx could make a something that works. That's unfair. I'm just frustrated. Yeah, I'm assuming that didn't record. I'm trying to make it's still powered on. I'm trying to see if I can get it to. Yeah, no, it didn't record anything. Of course not. Yeah, I don't. I don't know. It's yeah, it flies like a 4-inch rig. What's up, T-Bird? Yeah, the Caddx application just doesn't work. Nothing works. Yeah, it flies good. Good power. The tune is absolutely dialed, like, immediately. Let me plug in and show you guys where the tune is at. I might actually back the tune off a hair. And I'll show you guys how I do that. It was just, the tune was like a little too perfect, so to speak. A little too sort of close to the edge. Okay. So we're just gonna come down a little bit on the P gains. Come down to 40. No, let's come down to 38. 44. And then I'm actually gonna leave, we'll come down a little bit. Come down to 28 and 32. Just to kind of take the edge off. And let's take a look at the filters. Filters are in a good place. Let's open up this gyro RPM filter a little bit more. Move the minimum frequency from 200 down to 100. That'll just open up the RPM filter, let it do a little bit more work. And that was on 6S, so this is profile 2 that I'm tuning. Scale factor was down at 80%. Let's save that. And cool. Dynamic idle 26. Okay, yeah, the dynamic idle's good. So let me disconnect it. Let me see if the Caddx wants to record, which I'm sure it won't. And I'll put a bigger battery on it this time. I'll put a 6S 550 on it to see if I can get more than like 30 seconds of flight time out of it. Okay. So I'm gonna need to... Is there enough cable if I do that? Yeah. Yeah, that looks fine. Alright, so let me put this in between here. And then... Okay, let's get this going. What was nice is it got the I got enough air on it to get the ESC temperatures down, which was good. I was a little worried about that. All right, so let's see here. Alright, so I gotta hold this button. I gotta hold this button until the green light comes on. There's the green light. Now I gotta go into Wi-Fi. I've gotta connect to it there. And then I gotta fucking launch the application again because it crashed. As it typically does. Connect and just wait. And wait and wait and wait. It's all about waiting with Caddx Tarsier, man. You just gotta wait. And I just realized that a minute ago I forgot to format the card. That's probably why it wouldn't start recording. So, the waiting game begins. My goggles stopped recording DVR a long time ago, so I can't even give you guys DVR, unfortunately. But in theory, eventually, when this thing gets into, when this launches, connects to the camera rather, I'll be able to, hopefully, I don't know, I'm so fucking angry at this right now, I can't even fucking talk. Just checking on the ESC is getting really hot already. Please connect the camera to Wi-Fi. Okay, well, you know, I just fucking did, but I'll do it again. My God. What a nightmare. Come on, man. Here we go. Okay, device settings. There we go. SD format. Yes. Format failed. Great. Format finished. There we go. Okay. Alright, hitting the record button probably won't work, but that's all I can do. I'll be back. Man, I hope it recorded. It would be real nice if it recorded that. It flies really good. Ooh, it's blinking. It might have actually recorded that. It flies really good. It flies like the Ripsqueaks. It flies like all the dialed in micros. Maybe with a little bit more float. That was a pretty good runtime too. All right, it's not flashing anymore. So in theory, it will have saved that file. Or it's now gone. Really good runtime. This is a big battery though. This is a 556S. Let me see what this battery weighs. This battery weighs, yeah, 102 grams. But what's nice is it's got big enough propellers to offset a big heavy battery, right? So like all up weight with this battery is 290 grams. And that's still a little bit light for a 4-inch propeller. So it was still like very floaty. To be honest, it felt really good. Let me just get this going here. Take another look at the chat. All right, let's see if it recorded that. I'm not gonna fly it anymore. Let's see what's going on here. If it did record it, it recorded it in 4K, which probably won't play on this ancient ass computer, but it's worth a shot. Let's see what we got here. I'll just be happy if it recorded, to be honest. The disk you inserted is not readable by this computer. Awesome. So, yeah. Way to go, Caddx. I don't know. I give up, I guess. Let me try one more thing. The Caddx does have a USB port on it. Let me try plugging into the USB port, seeing what happens. I think that might have been how I used to have to get the footage off of the Tarsier. Maybe. Maybe. Oh! 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 Oh, and it's playing. Wow. All right, here, let's see. Oh, it's just playing great. Well, it is playing through the USB off the card. Let's see if it'll chill out. My God, it's got some authority on the yaw axis. I don't know what the deal is, but all right. Well, okay, there it goes. Man, I forgot how low field of view the Caddx is, or the Tarsier is. So here's where I started to kind of get into it too. The audio is actually not bad at all. Here, I'll give you guys the full audio. Headphone users beware. See how it stopped? See how it had no momentum there when I flung it up over the swing set? That's too big of a propeller with not enough weight. I wound too far back. But just notice the lack of momentum because the props are too big for this all-up weight. So there you go. Let me call your attention to the sound of trilling oscillations. Let's fire that back up. There's like one or two spots where you can kind of hear it. This is what, when I talk about tuning via ear and via motor heat, this is the kind of thing that you want to listen for. And this tune is still kind of on the edge. Like I mean, obviously it's flying really well, right? But this tune is a little too far. It's a little too far forward. And I'm going to show you when you can notice that. If you arm it and it's making this noise, like disarm it, good God, that's way over the edge. This tune is, I could probably get away with this tune, but if I bent up a propeller or banged up a motor, it would be real bad. So this is the kind of stuff you're going to listen for, and it happens in like really dynamic sort of situations, and there's a couple examples of it in here. Let me find one. I'm going to give you guys full audio when I find it. But I just have to find it myself. It did it just barely there. Did it just barely there. There it was. There it was. Okay, so what was that? 302? When I do that roll over the top of the swing set, listen to it. Ready? Do you hear it? That's the kind of thing that lets you know that your tune, like the fact that it, so if it does that more than just like in that weirdo situation, bad, run away. But when you're flying your rig, if you ever hear that little, that's trilling, right? Like that's that trilling oscillation. That was more than likely D gain because it was a little bit slower. It's hard to tell, but it doesn't matter. It's either or, and you're going to move D gain and P gain up and down. But that's the kind of thing that you're looking for. So I am going to... I'm going to actually back this tune off a little. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to... I think I tried to cheat the ESC a little bit. I'm actually going to back off the ramp up and see if that takes care of it, which it should, because moving the ramp up and down sort of like artificially moves the P and the D gain up and down. So let me just plug this battery back in, and I'm just going to hop into BL Heli 32 real quick, and I'll show you guys how to do that as well. Cool, like a live, this turned into like a live tuning session. I did not expect that, but hey. I'm 39.99 years old. Might as well go for it. Alright, so we're in here, and see, so our ramp-up power is at 50%. I'm just going to kick that down to... probably get away with 45%. Let's do 45%. And we're going to write setup. And that's it. That's the only thing I'm going to change. Just bring that down a little bit. We could also back off the... we could back off the timing a little bit. Well, let's do this instead. I'm going to move it to automatic timing. I don't usually do that, but we'll move it to auto timing. And there we go. Now it should be good. If you guys want me to, I can go fly another battery and see if it's better for you, or we can just move on to fixing the glide stuff. If watching my old edits is a total snooze fest, I totally understand it. It's your guys' call. Oh, fuck, really? It shouldn't be crackling. I'm watching the volume meter. The volume meter looks totally fine. Are you sure the mic is freaking out? I mean, it's hard to not be sure of that. Really? I guess I need to restart the computer. I'm going to restart the computer. I'll be back. This is bullshit. Hold on. I gotta turn off auto stop. Yeah, nothing's happening. I mean, I don't change my setup ever. I just gotta restart the computer. I'll be back, hopefully. Maybe we're back. Maybe. I hope. It says live. It says live. Should be back. Alright, any better? Wait. Volume meter's doing the same thing. Should be better. Unfortunately, I just lost all of the chat. Okay. So do I have to go through all of that again? Do I have to talk through all that again? Or could you guys actually hear me? I don't really know if I have it in me to talk through all that again. This fucking douchebag in the apartment complex with this stupid-ass pickup truck with a stupid-ass exhaust keeps railing up and down. There's a dog that won't shut the fuck up. Yeah, I guess I just gotta restart this computer every day. Yeah, I guess that'll be part of my, like, yeah, I don't know. Oh my god. Let me get caught up on chat of what's here. Metal Dirtskin just did something dumb. Use my affiliate link to replace some stuff he broke. It's not just you, Metal, it's all of us, man. Royal Pancake says, have you ever had electronics fry on the bench new, or are you using a Vi-Fly short saver? The V2 is really good. I've had lots of electronics fry on the bench. I have been using the Vi-Fly short savers ever since they first came out, and the V2 is fantastic. If you guys don't have a Vi-Fly short saver, I gave a bunch of them away on the giveaways. If you didn't win one, you don't have one, go get one. It'll save you. They're really essential. Finn just got back from flying. I'm doing good, man. T-Bird saying hey and calling me an old man. Making some tweets. Got the keep load and planning to head to the lake house tonight after work so I can fly in the morning. Very cool. Alpha Sauce says next find needs to be for a desktop fan to keep those VTXs cool. I'm never really worried about the VTXs because I use low power before first arm. But it's I guess because of the way that I built this thing with the hot ass Tarsier boards right on top of the ESC. The ESC was getting kind of warm. So it might be nice to have a desk fan. What's up, Artemis Prime? How are you, man? And then DQ says Tarsier looks like a bunch of fun. Is RunCam like this too? No, DQ. The RunCam hybrid works. It's easy to use. There's no bullshit. It's fantastic. The Tarsier is just a nightmare in comparison. But the Tarsier was the first time we ever had a dual lens, dual sensor setup. So I guess you can kind of say, oh, well, we didn't know better. But I mean, when you make a product, you should maybe like use it once or twice before you sell a shitload of them. And like, I feel like if they'd maybe used this once or twice, they'd have been like, wow, this is impossible to use. Let's fix it before we sell 1,000 of them. I don't know. License to Drive says, if it's any consolation, I found using the Tarsier pain in the ass too, which is why it didn't get used much. Yeah, you know, that's really the tough part about it is like, it just makes you not want to fly that rig, right? And like, so because of the Tarsier, you don't fly the entire rig, and that sucks. Luckily, the RunCam hybrid is not like that. I would not suggest the Tarsier on my worst enemy. But the RunCam hybrid, awesome. Really, really good. License to Drive says, you got a wicked spot to fly right outside your place. I do. I just got to kind of be careful. I'm like super nervous when I fly out there. My ears are on like super high alert, listening for cars coming. And then I only really fly there when the kids have left that little playground area. And there's usually kids there. So I don't fly that spot out in front very often. But every so often I can catch it when there's no kids over there. And then I just like, I just like listen for cars. There was one spot in that little flight where I didn't hear a car coming down that hill, but then I turned the corner and there was a car there. I was like, oh, Jesus. Those damn quiet cars. License to Drive says you're okay, so here's where the microphone went to hell, and okay, cool. Awesome. License to Drive says you got the Trill audio thing explained well enough, it seems. Good. Northern Tier says, oh, buzz the dude in the pickup. Yeah, I'm just gonna light it on fire instead. Because he's a douchebag. All right, cool. We're good to go. So, wait, do you guys want me to go fly another battery to see if that trilling is gone, or do you guys not care? And I'll start working on glides. You guys pick. Type either fly or glide. Keaton Ichiban. Greg Womack says, should I be able to dive tall buildings with FR Sky? Absolutely, Greg. I dove many a building with Free Sky. It's much riskier than doing it with Crossfire. So only do it if you can find a spot to do it where there's like no chance that people or cars will be in your crash zone. You know what I'm saying? Because there is a semi-decent chance that halfway up the building you're gonna fail-safe, and it typically won't come back. So All right, so what do we got? We got fly, fly, glide, fly, glide, fly, fly, glide, fly. So it's 6-3. All right, here's a little bit more of old edits of mine. I'm gonna go put this other 550 through it, and we'll see if the noise is gone. Oh wait, here we go. You know what might be causing the mic to go ballistic? Epidemic sound. That's something that, like, a lot of the times that the mic goes nutty, it's when I'm trying to play. Not even epidemic sound, just Chrome. It seems to, it might be Chrome related, so I'm just gonna launch iTunes here, where I have a bunch of stuff, and then I'm just gonna hit play there, and that'll give us some audio, and then, all right, I'll be right back. It's still kind of there. Propellers are a little banged up. Micros really have a hard time with banged up propellers. So that's probably what it is. I'll do a little bit more screwing around with it. I'll probably just pull the P and the D gains down because, my God, wait until you guys see this tune right now. This is basically at a stock tune. It will not prop wash. These motors are nuts. Wait till you see this. I could not get it to prop wash to save my life. Since I restarted, everything is all my windows are gone. All right, hold on. Kirin Ichiban. Only the fanciest of... No. Should be this file here? No, it's this file here. 2.49? Yeah, this is it. Look at this tune, yo. This is called mechanical tuning. If you build the mechanical system good enough, the stock tune flies like this. Stock Betaflight tune. You hear it in there? It's still there. Power. See, it just stops. See how little momentum it has? Too big of a propeller for not enough weight. I was my neighbor came up the stairs. She's like, "Careful, careful!" I was like, "Oh!" She scared the shit out of me. See how nailed down the tune is, and that's with like the P gains and the D gains in the 40s. That's 6S, and that's a proper like mechanical system, motors that are big enough to control the propeller. Mr. Huggy says, how about running bi-blades on it? So bi-blades would probably immediately oscillate to the moon. The problem that I'm having is too much authority. So bi-blades would be worse. I would actually be better off going to a quad blade or a heavier tri-blade. What's happening, the reason that I'm needing to turn the tune down is because the response time is too quick with where the tune is at the moment. And so yeah, if there was a heavier T-mount propeller, that would help. That would probably fix the situation. But there's not. DJ says, happy early birthday, dude. Thank you, brother. So, yeah, interesting. Turning the ramp-up power down didn't help, which means that the problem is time-based. You want to remember that the PID loop, the error correction, is time-based. Your P gains and your D gains are functioning off of a time, not off of power. It's easy to think about it in your head as functioning off of power, but once you really understand tuning, you can kind of wrap your head around the fact that it's actually higher P gain is just going to make it kind of attack the error sooner, basically. So yeah, by bringing down the ramp-up power, we reduce the amount of horsepower, basically, but that's not the issue. The issue is it's a timing issue. So I need to pull the P gains down a little bit and the D gains down a little bit, and that should fix the issue. This battery is pretty much shot, and I don't want to make you guys keep watching my old edits. So let me make that change now, and then because I'll forget. Also, did you guys notice the little bit of an arm, the little bit of arm drop on the throttle punches? That is technically, that could be a problem with the motors, but it's not. That's an ESC issue. I'm asking a lot of this HGLRC ESC, right? It's on 6S, it's on 2004 big boy motors, it's on 4-inch props. So I kind of can't blame the ESC for having a little bit of an issue there, but at the same time, I'm not gonna buy one of these HGLRC ESCs. I'll put it in those terms. Know what I'm saying? On 4S, I guarantee it would be totally fine. Because it's very slight. That was a very slight issue. So let's come in here, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to fix that problem. And you guys heard it. You guys heard the oscillation a couple times in that flight, right? I'm assuming that you could hear it. So we're just going to come down to 35. And then we're going to come down to 40 on the pitch. And I'm going to, oh, you know what I didn't do last time? I didn't bring yaw down, and it could be yaw related. So I'm going to come all the way down to 40 with yaw. Might as well pull the eye gains down a little bit. Just pull them down by 5. And then I am going to pull the D gains down a bunch. Let's come down to 40. Let's come down to 45. And I think I might leave the D-mins alone because the motors are not getting hot, so the D-min should be totally fine. And that's probably going to be about perfect. This is fairly normal. And here's the scale factor on 6S down to 80%. Felt good. It had about the right amount of power. So yeah, I'm actually pretty happy with it. It flies really good. Chances are I probably won't keep it. I still probably won't keep it, but I will definitely fly it a little bit more to get it locked in perfectly, so that whoever wins it 2 Mondays from now has something that's ready to go. Let me get caught up on chat. Go back up here. You're good now. You're good. What's up, Huckleberry? Dauntless says hello. Greg Womack says, should I be able to... Oh, we got that. That's where you guys voted. Dauntless says, my toothpick frame swap screeched to a halt when my AIO had a direct short somewhere. Can't find it. Damn it. AIO life. That's why I don't build anything with an AIO. Toxic FPV says, you should for real start a fund for DJI. It's been a huge game changer. I know you aren't a huge fan, but I think you've spent some real time. I think if you spent some real time in them, you would be in love. I have spent some time in them, Toxic. I mean, like, I could buy them right now. It's just, I choose not to. Like, you can't, like, as a pilot that is, you know, kind of trying to be at the highest level possible, you can't have half your stuff on analog and half your stuff on DJI. It just doesn't work. The additional and the variable lag of DJI prevents you from being able to do that. Every single top pilot that I've talked to that has tried has had that exact same experience. So that's the biggest problem. Like, it really is not money. Money is the easiest problem, because, and it is a little bit of a problem, but the problem is that it's not a finished product. DJI is not a finished product. Until they figure out how to lock the latency down, it's not done. Because at really high levels, that's not cool. It's not okay to have the video latency moving all around. Especially when, for me, I would also then, and it's also not a finished product because they don't have a solution for small stuff. When I go to fly micros, DJI doesn't work. Like, it's just not a realistic solution. It's too big, it's too heavy. So until they figure that out, even if we had a DJI fund over here, I wouldn't spend it, because I'm not gonna switch over, because it would make me worse, basically. Yes, I would be able to see more things, but the variable latency would have me crashing into stuff. And then I would go back and fly analog small stuff, and then that would throw me. So it would just be a little bit of a nightmare. I appreciate the sentiment, Toxic, but yeah, DJI is just not for me yet. And a lot of other top pilots. I think you'll find that there's a big majority of not a majority, but there's a big percentage of the really good pilots that don't fly DJI. And it's not because they can't afford it, right? Because most of those guys are doing much better than I am and can very easily afford it. It's for all of these other reasons that I feel like I talk about on every single stream at this point. FPV Trucker says, what motors are on that rig again? They are the... Oh, shit. Let me save this and get it disconnected. They are the Newbie Drone Flow 2004 2400s. And, come on, OBS. Jesus Christ, there we go. There they are. And I'm pretty impressed by them. They're nice and smooth. The initial tune, the first tune that I had on it was cranked up a little bit. I've got beat up propellers on it. And yeah, they're smooth enough that, and that HD didn't have much jello. There was a little tiny bit of jello there at a couple different throttle values that I could see. But for the most part, yeah. So big thumbs up for me on these Newbie Drone Flow 2004s. I really wish they had a higher KV. These are the highest KV they sell, which is 2400, and this is a little low for 4-inch propellers on 4S. I was just flying it on 6S, scaled down to 80%, and that felt about right. I really wish they had like at least 3000 kV. I would really love to see a 3500 kV, so that you can run them on 4S with a 3-inch prop, or 4S with a 4-inch prop and just motor limit it down a little bit. Vern Kelk says, last time your mic went out, it was because you hit your desk. This time it was when you unplugged the cadex from your PC. Dodgy plug. Well, here's the thing though. The microphone is here, plugged in here, and the cadex, unplugging the cadex was way down there. So when I unplugged the cadex, did I like bang into the desk or something? Did you guys would have known it because this camera is like jankily mounted. It could be. I guess it could be. But I've tried 3 different cables now on the mic, and it's done it with all 3 of them. So I doubt it. But if I banged the desk when I was unplugging the cadex, then it could totally be that. I am back to the original wire that I was originally using Who the hell knows? Tiago says, I have similar issues with several devices that have ad hoc Wi-Fi. I don't have the issues that you have, but my cell is Android, so I have to turn off smart Wi-Fi or else it will disconnect. When it detects the Wi-Fi, it does not have internet. Wow, that's super weird. I'm willing to bet it's the fact that I'm using a 12-year-old's computer and pushing it to its absolute bitter limits. That's just my take on it. DJ Sin, happy early birthday. I'm getting caught up here. Dauntless said, YouTube just did the thing. Come on, YouTube. Oh, wait, no. Here, I went too far back. There we go. Dauntless says, what quad is this? Just joined the stream. It's the 4-inch rig. There's just leaves pouring out of this thing. Ooh, let's see if any screws back themselves out. And let's check the arm screws. That was like 3 batteries worth of flying. Totally fine. Cool. Yeah, this I'm kind of digging this frame. I'm pretty impressed by this QAVS mini frame. It's really decent. Tiago says changing the rates could help. Artificially, maybe, like lowering the rates could possibly artificially help it. But it's definitely a tune issue. That would be like putting a Band-Aid on it. I would rather fix the actual tune than pull the rates down to the point where it doesn't do it anymore. I can almost guarantee you that by dropping the P gains and the D gains down, that fixed it, because of the fact that pulling the ramp up down didn't fix it. Pulling the ramp up down, not fixing it, tells me that it's not a power issue, it's a timing issue, and the PIDs function off of time. So, yeah, the slightly lower P and D gains. And you know what? I bet you it's yaw based, because I didn't change the yaw P gain. I bet you pulling that yaw P gain down from 45 was the issue, especially because of how much authority there was on the yaw axis. Yes, it was definitely yaw P gain related, because when I would, it just was crazy on the yaw. It was just like there's yaw authority, and then there's what this thing was doing. TPMG says, is there ever a reason not to disable DMIN? I never missed it at all. I mean, the real question is there a reason to disable DMIN, which I think the answer is no. People that disable DMIN, I think it's just basically they don't understand how it works. In my opinion, DMIN is a huge deal, and it's a huge performance improvement as long as you know how to tune it correctly. Basically, you need to move the gain and the advance up. The factory values for gain and advance are very soft and very slow. And that's the only reason, the only complaint that makes any sense for removing DMIN is that it doesn't attack the prop wash quick enough. And the gain and advance are what control that. So as soon as you move the gain and the advance up to values of 50 or even 100, then DMIN is basically fixed, and then you've got all the benefits where it keeps the motor heat down when you're just cruising because it runs at the minimum, and then it allows you to push the D max up to an insane amount, so that in the moments where it has prop wash, where it needs D gain, it quickly raises it up and just crushes prop wash. I have never, and you'll never be able to get the prop wash performance without DMIN turned on that you will with it turned on. And I don't like prop wash, so I run it, and it works beautifully well. I mean, like with this little guy, right? Micros, which have a hard time dealing with prop wash, on pretty much this thing's maiden, I was putting it full throttle into prop wash, and there wasn't a single wobble. Like, that's DMIN. If DMIN was turned off and I was just running off of regular D gain, it would not have been like that at all, and the motors would have come back hotter. So yeah, turning DMIN off in my opinion, is kind of nuts. I mean, but it doesn't surprise me because there's people that fly KISS and Flight 1 and say that they fly great, right? KISS and Flight 1 are beta flight with all the stuff turned off, feed forward turned off, I-term relax turned off, anti-gravity turned off, D-min turned off, right? And there's people that think that those flight softwares fly absolutely amazing. So it doesn't surprise me how many people turn D-min off. Those are people that will probably also really like KISS and Flight 1. I don't. I find all of the extra benefits of Betaflight just phenomenal. And so do all of the people that actually look at black box logs to be able to, look at the data and be able to actually see what's happening rather than just, oh, this footage looks so great. Because footage looking great, like for example, Mark Spatz's UAV Tech's big testing of KISS versus Betaflight shows unequivocally that Betaflight handles and just functions better on every level, like absolutely top to bottom. There's not a single thing that KISS does any better than Betaflight. But he then looks at the logs of how KISS performs, and you can literally see as KISS is fucking up and like missing set point over and over again, you can see why the footage looks so good, because it's rounding things out. Like when there's a sharp stop in the stick travel, KISS is lagging behind going into that sharp stop, and then it overshoots after that sharp stop, and then it rounds itself right back down to where, and then the set point comes back, and then it lags behind again, and then so basically KISS is just doing this. It's just softening everything up, whereas Betaflight, with all the incredible features that eat up all of those problems, Betaflight can perfectly match what your sticks are doing. So Betaflight will allow you to have the quad perfectly match your sticks, and if you're good enough, your sticks can be perfect, right? You can perfectly do with your sticks exactly what you want the rig to do. Well, if you're not perfect and you want some of that smoothing, you can do what I do and run the feed forward really low, run the feed forward transition up really high, and you can get this and run the RC smoothing, and there's a couple other things here and there to give yourself that smoothing. But what's nice with Betaflight is you can control that smoothing, because the baseline of Betaflight, cranking it up and setting the tune properly, makes the quad perfectly match the sticks. And then I add the exact amount of smoothing that I want, rather than KISS and Flight 1, which they lag behind all the time, so you get the smoothing whether you like it or not. So you better get used to it, because you ain't getting rid of it. So yeah, that I've had a really hard time explaining that over the years, and watching Mark's video series comparing the two really kind of locked it into my head and made me understand exactly what's happening there. And yeah, it kind of is what it is. And I mean, that's just the data. Like, you really can't argue with that. Mark shows it to you in black box logs, and that's data at 4,000 times a second. And if you think that your eyeballs and your brain is better than 4,000 times a second, you're wrong. Because your eyeballs only see at 30 frames a second. So yeah, it's anybody who still thinks KISS is better than Betaflight hasn't watched or didn't pay attention in Mark's video series, because there's really no way to watch that series of videos comparing the two if you're at all open-minded or understand what the hell he's saying. There's just no way to come out of those and go, oh yeah, KISS is still better, because it just isn't. If for some reason KISS gives you a stiffy and you're okay spending a lot more money on gear, that's totally fine. But don't try to tell anyone ever that it's better, because it isn't. It just isn't. KISS can't match. It can't match set point. Period. Like, the end. And Betaflight can. And then if you want Betaflight to not match set point, you can make it do that. Mark's got a tune how to make Betaflight fly like KISS. you basically wreck your tune in Betaflight to get it to fly like KISS. So, yeah, I mean, that's just the data. Unfortunately, the data doesn't lie. And I know a lot of people that are hell-bent on KISS, you know, and I would be too, right? Like, if I had spent twice as much money on all of my electronics than with Betaflight, I would probably be hell-bent on KISS being better as well, right? Like, that's how our brains work. But without data to back that up, you're just being obtuse, and don't be obtuse. There's just no reason. It's okay that KISS isn't better. It's okay that you like KISS. Just don't say that it's better, because unfortunately when people say that KISS is better, new people or just people that don't know better, they go, oh, well, okay, so if it's better, I'm willing to dump twice the money into it. And that's sad, you know, like that you just cost that person a lot of money for no reason. And that's not cool, in my opinion. I don't know. Let's fix some glides. Now, let me get caught up on chat first, then we'll fix some glides. Great question, TPMG. Thanks for sparking a really good conversation. This is going to be another live stream that I make into an audio version because of a couple of these rants here, which will be available over on Patreon. CiottiFPV.com has a bunch of ways you can support me. The best one is by joining my Patreon. If you join my Patreon, you're going to get audio-only versions of a whole bunch of these streams. The good ones, the streams where we cover good technical data and info and whatnot. You're going to get all kinds of other awesome stuff. TPMG says +1 for the DJI fund. FinFPV says not to mention the lack of OSD support. Yeah, there are a whole bunch of reasons that I have no interest in DJI. The OSD is a real... I can't believe how bad the OSD still is. I mean, it's 2021 for Christ's sakes. It does have OSD support, but the in my opinion, the OSD support that it has is pretty awful. It's really hard to read. It doesn't give you access to it's not good enough. Straight up, it's just not good enough. That's really what it is. DJI is not good enough yet. I think it'll be good enough, but it's not good enough yet. And yeah, that's why I'm not switching. Fairly Functional says, happy early birthday. Thank you, brother. Scrolling down, YouTube is about to do the thing. There it goes. YouTube did the thing. Scrolling back up to try to find my place. Tiago says, there is a bigger issue than the OSD. Is there stock? Yeah, right. What is the solution for DJI embargo? I would wait. Yeah. I mean, they'll figure that out, I'm sure, though. Tiago also says the USB is probably a bandwidth issue. If you plug it again, we'll have the same issue. Well, that's interesting. Well, although I'm assuming that I hope the mic's not crackling now. Although maybe when I restarted it dumped the bandwidth or something. I don't know. Vern Kelk says 1 a.m. in UK. Happy birthday, brother. Thank you, Vern. Brian Ladmiral says the latency does not cause as many issues as you might think it would. The fact that you can actually see everything makes up for a little bit of laggy video. I'll take the latency any day. I'm okay with the latency, Brian. It's just the fact that the latency changes. That's one of the big things that I'm not okay with. That's one of the things that when I was talking to Steele about it, he said it was that basically that's why he doesn't fly it. He kind of sold me on not just basically waiting. I can't believe that they need to figure out how to lock the latency down. Period. End of discussion. But there are a whole bunch of other issues. Yeah, I mean when they come out with a 20x20 single PCB, lightweight, easily packageable VTX for it, I will really start to look at it. But there's just no way that I'm going to switch over to it in its current form because I can't put it in any of my micros in a way that makes any sense. So it's a shame. Also, I would really kind of also need them to make a dual lens version of it. This rig with the Tarsier and then the Ripsqueaks with the Runcam hybrids. They're a big deal. That's a really big deal. Having a totally built-in solution that will do 4K and really good FPV feeds. Because without that ability to do that, you've got to put you're going to gain 10 grams basically on a micro. You gain 10 grams going to DJI, and then you have to have an HD solution as well, because the quality that comes through to the goggles is just not good enough. So now you have to hang like an Insta360 Go 2 for $300 off the top of it. That's another 26 grams, and then that's like another probably 4, 5, 6 grams for the TPU mount. And that's too much. You know, that takes a 200 gram micro and puts it damn near to 250 grams, and 3-inch rigs don't fly right, in my opinion. So that's another kind of thing. But let's talk about something other than DJI, because I'm kind of getting tired of talking. I'm kind of tired of justifying why I'm not willing to switch to it, because it's at this point, like I said, it's kind of happening on like every single stream, and I feel like I'm just beating a dead horse. Orga says, do you know what the antennas and the connection are called for FreeSky RX Archer? One of the two got chopped by a prop. The little straw thing that holds it got broken in a crash. I do not, Orga. I don't have any experience with Archer. But if you tag me again and you just tell me what the specific receiver that you've got is that comes with the antenna, I will Google that receiver and I'll see if I can find in the product descriptions like what the little port is called for you. Or maybe I'll be able to like search for the name of the receiver and the word like spare antenna or something like that, and maybe find a spare antenna for you, because it sounds like you just need a spare antenna, right? So yeah, tag me again, let me know what the specific thing is, and I'll do some Googling for you. Scrolling. Metal Dirtskin says, if you look at the videos of people who have been flying since the olden days, they have habits that work around the old software shortcomings like bounce back. Absolutely, Metal. Absolutely. And that's a really important thing, right? Like, if you fly the flight software that doesn't track set point properly, you can still produce really good footage. You can work harder as a pilot to fly around the problems. I think that's kind of crazy. I would rather not have the problems to begin with, and then I don't have to be as good of a pilot. I don't have to work as hard. Also, I can do movements with the camera, with the quad, that those people can't, right? That's the big thing for me. That was the big eye-opening thing when I was flying KISS and Flight 1, is that, like, namely, the big thing was putting the nose down and then doing a flat spin to look back at an object. You can't do that with KISS, and you can't fly around it. Like, flying around it is not doing that. Trying to do movements that have a hard, sharp stop, you can't do them. Flying around those things means that you don't bring the stick back to center as quickly. You slowly bring the stick back to center. So like in a lot of those cases, like flying around it, it's not really flying around it. It's just not doing those movements. And I would rather fly a software that allows me to do those movements, right? Like I can certainly move the stick back slowly to center, and I can get that look, or I can sharply move it back to center, and I can get a totally different look. I don't want to fly a flight software that doesn't allow me to get that other look, right? I want a flight software that will allow me to do anything and allow me to do more, and also not have to work as hard. So, yeah, I don't know. Different strokes for different folks, though. Some people would, don't have any interest in doing these movements with really sharp stops. I do. I think it looks really, really cool in certain situations to just like slam the rig inverted and just watch the whole world go in one direction and then come back in the other direction. Random FPV was talking about Kiss and Steffies. Oh God, random. I'm not gonna read the rest of that one. 9:33 a.m. here in Australia. Happy birthday! Thank you, brother. Blizzard FPV with 2 Californian Canadian dollars. He says happy birthday. Thank you, Blizzard. Much appreciated. Ram Daco says happy birthday. Just moved, so you're coming through. Just moved, so you're coming through on a phone data on the tablet. Nice. Congrats on the move, brother. Moving sucks, but it's just a great thing to do. Shakes everything up, forces you to meet new people, try new things. Richard says, do you happen to know what a flight controller barometer is used for? I do, Richard. It's for elevation. The barometer will be able to tell you to some degree, with some degree of accuracy, what your altitude is, and that's pretty cool. The barometers are pretty neat. Sort of realistically limited use. You know where they're really nice for long range rigs. Long range rigs, it makes a lot of sense to have a barometer. For us, we're flopping all over the damn place. So like a barometer is kind of neat. When I had Brain 3D Brain FPV Radix boards, they have barometers in them, and I turned it on, and it was like, oh, that's interesting. But then I never looked at it again. Brian Ladmiral says, I've been flying this prototype ultralight 5-inch on digital. It weighs 265 with a 554S, almost 8 minutes on bi-blades. Wasn't really even trying to save weight, under 250 grams, totally doable. Yeah, I mean, anything's doable, but the way that I build, not really doable. I mean, all I'm doing is just, I know what analog VTX and cameras weigh. I know what the new Cadix Pro, whatever the hell it is, I know what that weighs. I know what the Insta360 Go weighs, and I know what the TPU mounts weigh. So I'm just taking those weights and just plussing them to, because my builds at the moment are like perfect for what they are. So I'm just taking I'm just doing the math. So random FPV with a peach butt and $1.99 Australian. Thank you, random. Brian Latimer says it's a 650 MAH, not a 550. Bob did a good job on this frame. Yeah, man, Bob's frames are the shit. I think I know which frame you're flying. I think it's the one that uses the Cadix as the rear standoffs, which is super cool. I couldn't believe he did that when he showed it to me a few months ago. But after having built rigs with those Cadixes in them, I can totally see that should be absolutely fine. Those things are like brick shit houses. Richard says, are there Betaflight OSD elements that I can use with the flight controller barometer? Ooh. I assume so. I assume there's some sort of an altitude Betaflight OSD element. Just go into Betaflight, go into the OSD, and just read through the list of things. There should probably be some sort of an altitude in there. Random FPV says cheers, and cool. Let's hold on. I can't not have the keystrokes work for 3 more hours or however the hell long I'm going to stream here. The stream is going to pinwheel for a second. I'll be right back. I got to quit out of OBS now just to get the keystrokes to work again. Hold on. All right, the stream plagued with technical issues continues. I should be back. Yep, I'm back. All right, cool. Let's fix some glides. Edward Ashley with a $2.99 super chat. He says, happy birthday, and the Archer RS is IPEX 4. There you go. Somebody, the collective at work. Edward Ashley answered the question for us. Archer RS is IPEX 4. So whoever that was asking, there you go. Edward Ashley, you're the man. Thanks for being for exemplifying why the collective is awesome. Brian Ladmiral says, I'm not trying to get you to switch. I'm telling you how it turned out. Yeah, that is the frame I'm talking about. Nice. Yeah, I know that I get defensive with you guys, which is probably because I've just had to explain this 100+ times now. So I apologize if I'm being a dick. But yeah, just eventually it gets a little frustrating to just have to explain it over and over and over again. And I also get the feeling that those of you that watch a lot of these streams are would get sick of hearing it over and over and over again. I almost just want to switch so that I don't have to feel like an asshole every time I I explain it. Because I do. Because it does make me kind of feel like a dick to have to say no over and over and over again. But I don't know. That's probably just me being way too sensitive, which is something I struggle with each and every day. Let's fix some glides. Oh, the keystrokes work. Yes. So this glide, I know there's a video problem, but I don't know what the video problem is. So let me grab my goggles and a battery, and I'm hoping that if I plug a battery in, there won't be any video. Because if there is video, then it's potentially a range-related issue, and I don't remember what it was. Richard says, okay, I'll play with it. Noticed a few flight controllers with or without the barometer. I didn't know what I could do with it. I was thinking it was going to be complicated like GPS unit. No, not really complicated, Richard. It's just going to be an OSD element that just gives you the altitude in either feet or meters. Orga says, Edward Ashley, thanks a lot. To CiottiFPV, happy birthday. It's 3:15 a.m. here. Thanks, Orga. Much appreciated. Brian Ledmerow says, you can fly both. I do. Yep, you can definitely fly both, but like I've been talking about, having a bunch of analog rigs that have one amount of fixed video latency and then moving over to DJI with additional latency and variable latency is going to really make it harder for me as a pilot. And I just try to do things that'll make my life easier as a pilot. Because I'm not that great of a pilot, so I need all the advantages that I can possibly get. And one of those things is trying to maintain across as many rigs as possible things like latency, things like throttle power delivery. So yeah, it's just not a great idea one of my things that I really try to be is as good of a pilot as possible, and flying both is going to work against that. And again, I'm just not good enough. Maybe someday I will be good enough, but at the moment I'm just not good enough. Quadzimoto with a $5 super chat. He says, thank you for being you. Your tune helped my quads fly so much better. Thank you. My pleasure, Quadzimoto. Thank you for being awesome and keeping the lights on up in here. Tiago says, Nick Burns uses analog and a crazy cheap controller, and he is amazing. Yeah, a lot of people, most people are still on analog. So, that's kind of the other thing. It's like, well, it's, can't be that bad. I also find the DJI goggles to be hideously uncomfortable and hot and huge, and god damn it, there is video. Ugh. I was really hoping that there wouldn't be video. Damn it, what was wrong with this rig? Maybe it's not video related? Is there something just broken on it, maybe? Why did I put this next to the desk? I was pretty sure it was... I'm pretty sure I remember it being video related. God damn it. I'm gonna have to bring it out with me and fly it. Oh my god, that's so annoying. Yeah, the video looks totally fine. Oh wait, so I was wait, no. So I was flying it at the tree tunnel spot. Obese Quads with a $9.99 super chat. He says, happy birthday, bro. Thank you, Obese Quads. It's tomorrow. We're going to do a big stream tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern time. But thank you for the early birthday present. Very cool of you. Brian Ledmerow says, you're a really good pilot, man. Thanks, brother. I appreciate that. I compare myself to the absolute best. So in that respect, I've still got a ways to go. But I appreciate you saying that, man. Quessy Williams says, "What's your go-to VTX antenna these days?" True RC everything, Quessy. And I bounce back and forth between the True RC Singularity here and the True RC OCP. The OCP antenna is more durable. The Singularity antenna is a little bit better tuned. So if you don't crash a lot, or if you're building a rig that you're going to specifically try to not crash a lot, Singularity all day. If you smash and crash on concrete all the time, OCP for sure. But definitely True RC. True RC antennas have outperformed all others in my experience. And I'm getting just to pile on, I guess, to the technical problems. I'm now getting an error from YouTube that it's not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. So that's awesome. Hopefully you guys can still see and or hear me. DQ says, you have TPU shoes on that thing? Some of the rigs, I have very slimmed down TPU on the front. What I've been doing lately is actually cutting this in half to only have the front little piece. As I blow these up, as I blow these front arms up, I've been replacing these with the new FPV Cycle front arms, which have bigger devil horns, and I have not been running TPU on those. So I kind of go back and forth between TPU. At some point, when I have to pull these front motors off, I will cut these TPU protectors in half so that I only have the little front bit to just continue to try to save a gram here, a gram there, a gram everywhere. This rig, what's wrong with this? Oh, okay. So this rig, I know what the problem is, which is good. Although there's also a video issue on this rig, so we do have a couple things that we need to fix here. Let me see how bad these propellers... Oh, wow, that motor is a hot mess. Oh boy, what is that noise? That is a really nasty noise. It might just be sand up in there, so I gotta pull that motor apart for sure. These propellers are okay, except for this one. This one goes in the trash can. I'm still wearing my goggles, and they're still powered on. Great! Oh wait, no, that wasn't from before. That was just from very recently. So that's good. Okay, so this prop is garbage. Jackalope says, if CiottiFPV is a bad pilot, then what does that make me? Hot garbage, he says. I mean, I have been doing this for quite a long time, Jackalope. So if, you know, once you're 4 years in, then you can compare yourself to me, I guess. But until that point, it's really not a fair comparison to, because a lot of piloting is just straight up time spent. It's just stick time. And like, even if you are 4 years in, I'm willing to bet that you have not actively put as much time in as I have, right? Like, there was almost 2 years straight where I flew 10 batteries a day every single day, no excuses. Not, like, absolutely not. And then there was a really long period, probably like 6 or 7 months, where I did a half an hour on the sim every single day, in addition to flying for real. Absolutely no excuses. So yeah, even if you are 4 years in, unless you've put that much stick time into it, it's really not a fair comparison. But I don't know, comparing yourself to other pilots is kind of silly anyway. I wish that I didn't do it so much, but it's, yeah, I have literal mental problems that I fight with every day. So this looks like it pulled the pad off, but it might not have. There's still some metal there. It doesn't just look like PCB, so there's a chance that I can just zip this right back on. Is that you?
Yeah, in like 5 minutes I was gonna start to make dinner, so
Cool.
like 20, 30 minutes maybe.
Awesome. So let's get some flux on here, and we'll see if maybe this can be a quick repair. I highly doubt it, but you never know. Okay. Soldering iron is hot enough. It's gonna be all right. Weirdo with a skateboard is in the house. What's up, brother? How are you? He asked me what color a mirror is. What kind of a sick joke is that? Mirrors are black because of the show. Is that where you're going with that? Come on, there we go. All right, let's see. Let's see if there's a miracle to be had here. Get this nice and hot, and we'll just see what happens. All right. So I'm gonna do something that you probably cringe at, but I'm gonna pull really hard on this, because if I can pull it off, then it's not really airworthy. But I can't. I pulled good and hard on that, and it did not, and it stayed stuck down. So that is the confidence that I need to put this thing back in the air and have that be the a good enough repair. Let me scrub these the shrink wrap on these LED race wires a little bit here, since they've turned green, as they typically do eventually. Rudy says, just asking, I'm doped up on pain meds and in the mood to be a prick. Jackalope says, I'm still a noob, so I'll check in 4 years from now. Royal Pancake says, is that a True RC Singularity antenna? I just threw that in the trash. The Triumph Pro had way better signal penetration than that one. Interesting, Royal. I've had the complete opposite experience. I've tested two. So all the TBS antennas is what's the other antenna company? There's True RC, and then there's oh god damn it. Somebody in chat, what's the other antenna company? We only have two antenna companies, and I've tested many True RCs versus that other antenna company, and I've yet to have a True RC antenna not outperform the other antenna company. God damn it. Somebody will know. Vaz, that's it. Vaz, yeah. Vaz makes the TBS antennas. They both make great antennas, but I have had True RCs outperform Vaz's top to bottom. But again, no wrong answers. More than likely, what happened is the True RC antenna got smacked and knocked out of calibration, out of alignment, out of whatever, or it could have been a bad one from the factory. But I've run like 30 or 40 True RC antennas, and I've yet to have one that was bad right out of the box. If you've ever run an Axie antenna, and the reason why the Axie antennas get so much love is because those are True RC antennas, and those are pretty well known to be arguably the best. All they are is a Singularity with a black cover on it. Unfortunately, a little bit less expensive of a cover, because when you look at the Axies, right, the Axies sell for $20. Well, the True RC antennas also sell for $20, so like the extra money's sort of got to go somewhere. And I have a feeling that it's in the quality of the cap itself. Look at that. We are almost clear again. Almost. Look at this alcohol getting all foamy. What's that about? Haven't seen that happen in a while. Yeah, I actually just did an order right before the stream. $120 order for a whole bunch of TrueRC antennas. I was talking to Hugo a bunch today, who runs TrueRC, and about how to get a little bit longer of a UFL antenna, and he had some cool suggestions. And he hooked me up. I mean, hook me up with info. He doesn't hook me up with prices or anything like that, which is totally fine because, you know, I'm okay with spending money on the best, in my opinion. Not just in my opinion, in most people's opinions. Most people that have compared antennas end up landing on the TrueRC antennas as being as having a little bit better range, a little bit better durability. Stuff like that. But like I said before, both companies make really good antennas. It's just to me it seems like the in my experience at least, and in the people that I've talked to that have done the testing, they seem to end up picking the TrueRCs over the Vazes. Weirdo with a skateboard says, "What are you rushing your drone for?" So that the LEDs will actually shine through the shrink wrap that I put over them again. Brian Ladmiral says, just posted a picture of the prototype 5-inch on the Discord live stream page if anyone wants to see it. You guys should go look at it. It's a really interesting design. It's a really, really interesting design. Royal Pancake says, nothing seems consistent in FPV, huh? Pretty much. What my opinion on the situation, Royal Pancakes, is that we demand everything be very cheap, which comes from the fact that we destroy stuff so often, and you get what you pay for. If we were willing to spend 40 or 50 bucks on an antenna, they would all come perfect out of the box. They would probably be a little more durable, but you know, like a $50 antenna ain't gonna crash any better than a $20 antenna. So in my opinion, it makes sense to buy two and a half $20 antennas versus one $50 antenna. So Kirin Ichiban, for the people that like JDM cars but can't afford them. So this is the ultra basher rig. There's a video issue. I'm beginning to think that, well, so I confirmed that the antenna is not coming unplugged from the VTX. So for sure, either this VTX is the issue or this antenna is the issue. When I flick the antenna like this, it doesn't make a rattling sound. And when I look at the outside of the antenna, there's not any like really big digs or dents in it. So I have a feeling that the antenna is not the problem. So I believe what I'm going to do is just swap the VTX out and cross my fingers that that is the problem. This VTX has been in this rig for a long ass time, and it has just absolutely had the hell beaten out of it. So it would and this antenna is somewhat fresh. So yeah, I have a feeling that this VTX finally has gotten hit hard enough. Basically, there's a little crystal inside of the VTXs that has to be tuned perfectly, and if you smack that thing hard enough, often enough, it'll just kind of come out of tune, and it just causes problems. I mean, if you hit almost any electronic hard enough, often enough, it'll explode. So it's sort of a, when you've got a basher rig that you fly really hard and crash into concrete constantly, you really can't expect any of it to survive forever. You have to be willing to replace stuff, and you want to try to not like fight against that. Like on your rig that's or your rigs that get crashed a lot, if a certain part of the rig stops performing properly, just swap shit out. Like if it starts getting wacky oscillations or doing really strange shit, it's probably the gyro. The gyros don't last forever. Just swap the flight controller out. Just suck up the $35. Swap it out. God forbid you swap it out and it's not the problem. Well, hey, now you've got an extra flight controller. There are worse things because eventually the flight controller will explode. So what's also nice is I can now take this heavy ass battery strap off of here that I was using to weight this thing down when I was doing the camera testing. So this rig is now going to lighten itself up by like, Christ, I think it's like a 5 gram difference with this big fat battery strap versus the lightweight battery straps I usually run. That makes me happy because I'm a douche. Before I forget, let me investigate what in the hell is making this noise in this motor. Listen to this noise this motor's making. Ready? That's not a noise that you want to hear from your motors. If your motor's making that noise, stop flying it. Let's see what's going on. Sounds like there's shit up in there. Sounds like there's sand or like a little piece of metal up in there. It could technically be the bearing. The bearing could be like really wrecked, but I don't think so. Let's take a look in here. Oh yeah, there's metal shavings all fucking over the place in here. Good lord. Alright, so you're gonna move everything the hell away, everything magnetic, move it away. And then the first thing that I always do is the toothbrush attack. Remdunko says, good lad. Weirdo says, have you tried duct tape? Royal Pancake says, do you ever listen to Initial D music when flying? I don't. That would be interesting now. Europop intensifies. Weirdo with a skateboard says, so update on the car question I asked a couple streams back, Wrangler or Miata, and I choose neither. A Recon or a Mazda 8 is better choose besides that it's got a Wankel rotary engine. RX-8 is I mean, it seems like a good choice, but then when you live with it, pretty much everybody that I've ever known, and it's been a bunch because being in the motorsports world, lots of people will buy RX-8s. Every one of my friends that have ever gotten an RX-8 have kind of regretted it. The gas mileage is absolutely awful, and the reliability is really tough. All that being said, if you can stomach those two things, it's an incredible platform. It is an absolutely phenomenal car. But yeah, those are two really big issues. I'm talking like 12 miles to the gallon, 11 miles to the gallon. Even when you're just cruising down the highway, like the gas mileage is just horrendous. The rotaries just need lots of fuel. They use fuel for knock prevention. They use fuel for lubrication. So they just guzzle that shit. And eventually that gets annoying. Like that really adds up. And then realistically, those engines will only really go for like 80,000 or so miles before they need a rebuild. And because it's such a rare special thing, the rebuilds are usually really expensive. Here in the U.S., they usually cost about $3,000, which is just mega. So, and it's a shame, man, because the rest of the platform is phenomenal. If you can find an RX-8 with an LS1 swap, that's the way to go. That is the absolute king ding-a-ling right there. But usually they sell for a lot because all the motorsports people know that combination is absolute, like, damn near perfection. So be careful. Jackalope says, how did you pull that apart so quick? Because I've done it 200-300 times, Jackalope. I've been flying glide frames for almost 2 years now. and I crash a lot, so I pull them apart constantly. Royal Pancake says, I wish they made the Rush Solo tank the size of a Unify 5-volt V3 or smaller. How do you think we will see higher output, smaller VTXs in the future, or are analogs maxed out? In terms of sizing, I think analogs are kind of maxed out. One of the reasons that I prefer these Tramp HV flight controllers is the size. It fits like really perfectly here in the Glide. So does the Unify. But yeah, I'm with you, man. The new VTXs with all this extra milliwattage are gigantic. What you want to remember though about the milliwatt of the VTXs is that in order to get double the range, you have to multiply the amount of milliwatt by 4. So for example, right, my Tramp HV is 600 milliwatt. So if you compare that to one of these new 1200 milliwatt VTXs, you would think that they would get twice the range, but they don't. They only get 50% more range, and they're absolutely gigantic. So to me, it's really not worth it for the little bit of extra range to have something that's that much bigger and that much heavier. I am perfectly fine with the range of the Immersion RC Tramp HVs with a good functioning antenna and a good receiver on my goggles and a good antenna on my goggles. I can fly everywhere that I want to and then some. So, all right. So yeah, I do the toothbrush first, and then I use a microfiber on my pinky, and I rub it around in there, and that'll usually get the majority of the metal shavings out of a motor. But let me take a look here. Yep, nice and clean. The next step, if you still have metal shavings, the next step is to grab some Fun Tack. It's usually blue. This is the whatever knockoff stuff, but you know what Fun Tack is. This is the shit that you used to you could push it into a newspaper and it would transfer the newspaper text onto it. You can also use little bits of this on posters to stick them to the wall. You know what I mean. Fun Tack or Blue Tack, it's also called. This is like a little bit sticky, so you can take it and stick it on the inside of the motor, and it'll do a pretty good job picking up any. Ooh, it's actually picking up some stuff. So I'm actually gonna use it. So yeah, you take this and you push it into the magnets, and it'll pick up little chunks of metal and whatnot. Pretty easy little hack. It might just be picking up dirt, but no, that does look like little chunks of metal. So that's it's doing its job. Where the hell did I crash that had all this metal? The fuck? And yeah, you just push it in there. Little bits of metal stick to it, and then Bob becomes your uncle. King Sloth with 50 Nokias. He says you can buy magnetic toy putty. It's a lot better than Blue Tack for this. Nice. Oh yeah, wait, no, magnetic toy putty. Really? I have seen keyboard cleaning putty. I thought that might have been what you were talking about, but it doesn't sound like that is. Very cool, King Sloth. I'm assuming it's on Amazon. King Sloth, do you happen to know what, if anybody needs it, they would search for on Amazon to find that? Ram Donko says, is the math for tuning 6S motors to 4S in the one FPV book? Just wondering. I doubt it, Ram, because that book was written before motor limiting really became a big thing. But I mean, the math is simple. It's just, you know, just think of cell count in respect of like one cell, and then 2 cells 100%, 3 cells is right. Like just use the actual numbers, and it's think of it in the reverse, right? To go from 4S to 6S is just 150%, right? Because 4, 5, 6, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 50% is 2, right? So you just add, when you add 2 to 4, that's just an extra 50%. So the math is pretty straightforward. Richard says, recently read a post that stated it's better to replace a $20 to $30 component than lose a $500 quad on a wonky $5 repair for the VTX. I found that interesting. Very, very true, Richard. Yeah, it's a little bit of a dance, like not wanting to waste money replacing components versus replacing components to not lose a $500-600 rig. The way I try to approach it to make myself replace components more often is that if I take a component out that's not bad and I replace it, who gives a shit? I have an extra. And having extras is a good thing. Wow, this motor is still making that awful, awful noise. So there is something else going on here. Might be the bearing. Let me grab my dead motor bell and spin it on this bearing to see. Nope, bearing is totally fine. Bearing actually sounds really good. So there's something else really evil going on here. Let's figure out what the hell it is. Oh, is that it? No, that's not it. What the hell's going on here? What is that? No. What on earth? I mean, the motor bell could just be out of whack. Bent. The motor shaft, I should say, could just be bent. But my hunch is that this is stator related. Well, let me try a different motor. Well, this is a known bent motor bell. Yeah, so it's not going to spin because it's already bent. The hell? Well, let's do this. Let's just clean the in between the stator poles. Oh. All right, can you guys see the problem? Can you guys see the problem yet? Do you see it? No more problem. Oh no, it's still making the noise. It's not nearly as bad though. Oh, there it goes. Now it's fine. Oh, that's funny as hell. God damn it. You guys caught that, right? Yeah, the carbon. There was just the top layer of carbon had gone 90 degrees and it was just barely touching the motor bell. That's good stuff. All right, well, whatever. There was a bunch of metal on the inside of it, so it's fine. And I'm just gonna bend this. Well, oh god. Bend this down. Okay. Good to go. And now that motor is a lot cleaner. And there's nothing wrong with that. Because that was pretty fucking dirty in there. Alright, let's get this retaining screw back in here. And Royal Pancake says, I've not tried 6S. I figured 5S was plenty of power, mainly flying 5-inch in old farmhouses. Yeah, 5-inch is good. 5S rather is really good. 4S is a little bit better. 6S rather is. Yeah, it's just enough. 6S is just enough. It's just enough voltage where you just don't get any battery sag through the entire battery. You just don't get any sag. When I spent a little bit of time on 5S, and it would get a little saggy towards the end of the battery. Whereas on 6S, man, the consistency is just absolute beginning to end. Most people are actually still on 4S, believe it or not. It's like 20. It's like 2/3 of people are actually still on 4S. So, and there's nothing wrong with 4S. You get used to the sag. What the hell? There it is. You totally get used to the battery sag. But what's funny is when you go to 6S and then you go back to 4S, you're like, oh my god, how did I ever fly like this? But it's not that bad. It's more that, like, what really shocks me going back to 4S is how often the low battery warning triggers. But you don't feel it that bad because, like, 3.5 volts is fine. It's only when it gets down to like 3.2, 3.3, 3.1 that things get really nasty. Kira Nichiban. If you're so JDM that it can't just be your car, it has to be your stomach visiting Japan as well. Jackalope, so is just pulling apart that motor, or is it held together by screws or something? It was held apart. It is held together by a screw, but I'd pulled that screw out. You probably didn't see me pull the screw out. Toxic FPV says, any reason you can think of as to why my OSD isn't showing RSSI for one quad, just reads 0 and flies just fine. Basically, you're not telling it what the RSS value is. So in your receiver tab, you either, it depends. If you're on Crossfire, if you're on FR Sky, you don't have the right channel selected in the receiver tab. If you're on Crossfire, it's another problem. I have not had to deal with that in a while, so I don't remember troubleshooting it. But I'm certain that Joshua has a bunch of videos on zeroed out RSSI. So do a quick YouTube search and you'll probably find a couple videos with a couple different troubleshoots. But basically, yeah, the RSSI value isn't making it from the receiver into your flight controller. If it is making it into your flight controller, you're not telling the flight controller where to look for it, essentially. Where do the skateboard says, can you put this... What? Can you put this so King Sloth can get to your Discord server? To get to the Discord server, you're going to join my Patreon, and then they're going to send you an automatic email. Or you can go to CiottiFPV.com and scroll down to the bottom. Dauntless says, did you know Brandon Bentley shares the exact same birthday as you? No shit. Is he in here? Brandon, you in here? I had no idea. That's funny. Richard says, is a 6S 3-inch micro a thing? Don't see it often. It is a thing, Richard. There is no performance benefit to it because the 3-inch motors don't pull hard enough on the battery to have any advantage there. Unfortunately, what it does do is it stresses the tiny little ESCs out to the point where they explode. So in my experience, 6S on micros is less reliable with the exact same performance as 4S on micros, which is why all of mine are on 4S. Unfortunately, as the hype train for 6S with micros picks up, as it has been, more and more of these motor companies are making lower and lower KV motors, which really sucks because that forces us to go to 5 and 6S with micros. The other problem with 5 and 6S on micros is the batteries become too heavy. We don't need that many total amp hours in our batteries. So there's actually a performance decrease in going up to 6S with micros. And as the motor manufacturers continue to not pull their heads out of their asses with it, we're going to unfortunately be sort of punished. And that kind of sucks. But hopefully, I don't know. Yeah, hopefully somebody will see the light sooner than later and stop all this madness. Because yeah, there's just no performance benefit with a micro in going to 6S. There might be a slight performance benefit with these bigger micros running on like the 2004 motors and the 2204 motors, but certainly not with 3-inch or 2-inch or 2.5-inch or anything like that. And even on those bigger rigs, I still don't find any performance advantage, and it's a real problem with durability. Like the ESCs really have a hard time with the tiny little lightweight ESCs really have a hard time with 6S voltage. It really stresses them beyond their capabilities. And then the solution is to make the ESC bigger and more robust, and then it gets heavier, and then the batteries are already heavier, and now you've got a micro that flies like shit because it's too fat. You got to be really careful with weight in micros. They're very, very sensitive to every single gram that you add. And 6S adds weight straight up. Also, the other thing that happens is there's a point, there's an MAH that the batteries start performing worse. Like 450 MAH cells are kind of the smallest that you can go. Tommy just had GNB make him a 380 MAH battery that he's saying is performing really well. So that's really good. But prior to that one, if you went below a 450 MAH cell, the performance of the battery would really suffer. And a 450 MAH 6S battery is really heavy. Too heavy, in fact. I on my 3-inch rigs, I really prefer a 450 MAH 4S battery to then increase the weight by 25%. Just makes that rig fly like ass. So yeah, there's that kind of factors into that whole 6S adds weight deal. Because what you want to remember is that the MAH rating on the battery is per cell. It's 450 MAH per cell. So if you go from a 4 cell to a 6 cell, there's 2 more of those 450 MAH cells. A lot of people think that the MAH rating is the entire battery, and it's not. It's each individual cell. It's a very common misconception. All right. Got that going on there. This thing is kind of running out of juice, so I'm going to stand this up over here. So now we get to change out this VTX, and hopefully that fixes this problem. I'm gonna be pissed if, I mean, it's a 50-50 shot. It's 50-50. Either the antenna is shot or the VTX is shot. I'm taking a guess at the VTX, and I hope I'm right, because I just don't want to have to rip this thing apart again. Safest bet would be to swap both the VTX and the antenna, but if I were to do that, I wouldn't know which one is the problem. So I would have this antenna sitting around that's like, I don't know if it's good or not. I would have this VTX sitting around where I don't know if it's good or not. So in the interest of knowing which one's bad, I'm going to switch just one of them. And then worst case scenario is that I'm wrong, and then at least I know which one is bad. Unless they're both bad, which would really piss me off. But that'd be pretty low chance of that. So here we go. Cutting the shrink wrap off here. Let me just do. Oh no, yep, I have to because I got to get this antenna unplugged because I'm leaving the antenna. The other reason I'm doing it this way is because it's actually easier for me to swap this VTX out than for me to swap the antenna out. Because I have the antenna all nicely shrink wrapped up and tucked away and all beautiful like. So yeah, believe it or not, I'm saving a little bit of time by just swapping this VTX out. So let's get that going here. Oh my god. There's a duck attack. You know what time it is. You know what that means, don't you? I don't know, man. You guys choose to come here. What do you want from me? You signed up for this shit. Weirdo with Skateboard says... Weirdo the Skateboard's going to sleep. Todd Stafford says, noob question, why do most pilots use 4x3 cameras as opposed to 16x9? I'm talking actual cams, not ratio in the goggles. As I understand, matching goggle aspect ratio to cam. Really good idea, Todd Stafford. What you want to remember is that pitch is more important than yaw. So when you put your nose down on the quad to fly really fast, you look up to the top of the goggles, right? So a 4x3 image sensor is going to give you more vertical field of view. And that's all that matters. Vertical field of view is what really matters. Width, field of view width when you're flying doesn't really matter, right? Because you don't yaw to the side and need to see what's over there all that often, but you pitch up and down all the damn time, right? Think of like when you're doing a power loop and at the top of the goggles, you're waiting for the object to show up so that you know when to blip the throttle. It's much more valuable to have more vertical field of view than to have more left and right horizontal field of view. Really good question, brother. That's something that not a lot of people like understand. So it ain't just you. Greg Womack, that's not a noob question. That's actually a really good question, man. Greg Womack says, well, now I feel smarter, like the Owline 500 mAh, but I'm not experienced as you. It's all good, Greg. MotorRef says, dozen TPU antenna mounts shipping out tomorrow. Woohoo, very cool, MotorRef. I'm actually going to put, ooh, dude, hold on. Would you mind terribly, if I can find them, camera mount? Will that find it? Oh, farts. How can I search for this? M3, maybe? M3? Oh, no, standoff. I need to put the word standoff in there. You know what I realized is that I don't have any TPU for these 4 rigs that I'm going to build to sell on FPV Exchange. So I'm going to use some of those for that, but I also need these stupid little camera loops. But I'm putting nano cameras in these rigs, so I need to find TPU camera loops that come inwards. I know where to buy them from, but I don't know. I've never seen them on Thingiverse. I'm hoping that one of these guys has different thicknesses. This might actually work, but I actually need them to come in more. I usually buy them from BMC 3D, and I mean, if I have to buy them from BMC 3D, that's totally fine. But BQE, Ripsqueak ones, those go in a little bit. I'm hoping somebody just has like a thing file that has like in an inch, in a millimeter, in 2 millimeters, in 3 millimeters. Let's see if these two. The Ripsqueak ones are really good. I actually really like the Ripsqueak ones, but I would actually love to find ones that go in a little bit further than these. See how, like when I say in, what I mean is like in from the, see the standoff is here, and then the mount is like inwards of the standoff. I need it to be even farther inwards than this. because the nano cams are really small, and see this looks like it's a little bit farther in. Everybody keeps making them specific for these frames though. See, this one looks like it's in a little bit farther, but the other thing, the camera needs to mount far forward, like the hole needs to be like up here. The mounting hole, this is too far back. The mounting hole needs to be like all the way up here. Awesome, MotorRef, much appreciated. I would love to find this for you guys too, because I know a bunch of you guys have been interested in building 15mm standoff glides. So I would love to be able to find this for you guys. I mean, worst case, just order them off BMC 3D for like $1. Let's try universal FPV camera mount. Thingiverse's search is awful. I'm just gonna say it. It is awful. I think Pyrodrone also sells them. Ooh, License to Drive, you are the goddamn man. Can you like bang that design out stupidly quick? Here, let me show you. Pyrodrone, BMC. Ah, fucker, come on. Let me show you what it looks like. I'm pretty sure it's on Pyro. TPU. Oh, for Christ's sakes. TPU camera, maybe? TPU camera mount, that's what I want. Oh, come on now. Hold on, I think it's in gear and hardware. Hardware. No. Antennas, cameras. I just recently ordered them. It won't have cost anything. It'll be really cheap. Nope. No. 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 Damn it. Maybe it is at BMC 3D. Products. Accessory sets, maybe? Nope. Balls. Let's try Brent's search. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, basically like that, but then what you can do on here is you can pick the standoff spacing. Oh, but this is for my, yeah, no, see, it's on Pyrodrone. I know it's on Pyrodrone. I just gotta find it. Swag and more, gear and hardware, tools and building supplies. Isn't there a TPU section in here, I thought? Telemeters, frames. There's props pre-built. No. TPU camera mount. Oh, here. Sort by color. Hey! There it is. So yeah, this right here. See how far in it is, license? But at the same time, the screw mount is nice and close to the front standoff. This is it. Let me get you a measurement. So nano cam. Oh, wow! I'm the dumbest person ever. It's right there. That's it right there. Wow. Okay. Oh, good. Yeah. I'm sure glad I oh, God damn it. Okay, hold on. Let me find a ruler. No, I'll just use a caliper. I'll get all fancy with it. God damn it. I can't believe I did that to look for a picture of it while it was sitting right there. Oh, boy. Well, you know, whatever. We got there. So, according to the non-working caliper, oh, come on. Really? Can't you just work, please? Oh. What? Please. Just... Hey! So... It is from the center of the standoff, roughly, it's looking like the offset is about 6.75-ish mil. Oh, no. This is how I do it. The micro camera is 14 millimeters wide. Or, I'm sorry, the nano cameras are 14 millimeters wide. And these standoffs are 27 apart from center to center. Maybe 26. Let me put this thing at 26 and I'll take a look. 26.13. Okay, there's 26. Nope, they're 27. The standoffs are 27 center to center wide. Yep. Is that all you need, license? I can really design some basic mounts like that with the specific dimensions. Yeah, man, these are. I love these ones that Power Drone sells. Do you need to? Hold on. I probably have one in here. I can just hold up. This is just like it's minimal, but it's thick enough. I should have an extra one, or maybe not. Ooh, yep. There it is. So yeah, that's the shape there. I think that's the exact one, isn't it? That might be a little blurry. No, this one's a little more aggressive. This one goes in a little bit too far. But that's the shape. And then the screw is as close. You know, it puts the screw mount and it puts the camera as far forward as possible, right? So the screw mount is like, you know, just kind of obscured by this, which is awesome. Oh my god, dude, that's so awesome. Thank you, License. Thank you, MotoRef. You guys are the fucking best. Yeah, I have all these. I can't use any of these now because I switched to the nano cameras. Until Bob makes a frame with the front sucked in, but there's kind of no reason to do that. Do you need any more dimensions, License? If so, let me know. If not, I love you. I'm gonna hug you when I meet you. Oh god! Oh, nope. Get out of there. Oh boy. Okay, we're there. It's all good. VTX. Get replaced. All right. What happened? Did the chat break? There's been there we go. Height. Looks like they're about like 7 mil. Yeah, 7 millimeters tall. You can't see it because of the motor. 7 mil-ish tall. Yeah, and you see how the screw is like as... I'm also just like saying this for all you guys. The screw is as far forward as it can be to push the camera because the nano cams are very short, you know? So it ends up with the camera lens in just the right spot so it doesn't pick up a ton of standoff in view. I hate flying with standoff in view. It feels very claustrophobic. Anybody else get that? I've heard that actually from a couple of people that they can't fly frames that have standoffs or vertical carbon in view because they literally get claustrophobic. For me, it's more that you're losing a little bit of visibility, and I want as much visibility when I'm in the goggles as possible. So yeah, hopefully this VTX, which has been through the goddamn wood chipper, has just finally shit the bed. So I'm just going to swap this out, and then we're going to throw this back together, and then I'm going to shut this stream on down. We covered a ton of ground, man. We flew on this stream. We troubleshot the Tarsier. We screamed and yelled. Yes. 6 millimeter standoffs. Yes. Oh, perfect, dude. Yes. 5.8 millimeters would be great, so that it doesn't move around. That would be beautiful. 6 millimeters is the standard standoff, right? I assume so. I hope so. Oh, I do have a Unify, you know, but this is all wired up. I'm not going to do that. I want to test. I want to do another little Unify test, but I'm not going to do it now. Now's not the time. Okay. Do I really not have an extra VTX? What? Come on now. Hold on. This can't be. Wow, I don't. Oh. Oh. What? Smells really good.
We'll be ready in like 5 minutes. Not even like 2 minutes.
All right. All right, well, I don't have... What? Oh, wait, yes I do. Yes I do. Yes I do. Yes I do. Yes, I do. There it is. Whew. Okay. Such a sexy back. I do have an extra. 120 miles to go, FPV Trucker says. Sorry, brother. Not gonna make it. License to drive and oh god damn it. And Motoref. License to Drive. Can you send that? Can you send that design to MotoRef? License to Drive says, can you measure standoff diameter with your calipers to be sure? Yes. Well, hold on. No, it's just regular. I just let me just grab it. Grab a standoff because I took the battery out of the calipers already. But I can just get you the measurement. Good call. It is. Oh my God! No, it's 5 mil. Oh, and it looks to be a little bit less than 5 mil, so I will get the caliper out. 6 millimeters sounded so right. All right, let's see. It is. So the round ones, they are 5 mil. The round ones are 5 mil, but I'm actually using these hex ones. And what's nice is the one of the reasons I use the hex standoffs in the front is they're a little bit bigger, but I've never actually calipered them, so it's actually a really good time to do that. So the hex ones are 4.87 on the flats, but then on the fat part, oh, that makes sense. The widest part of the hex standoff is 5.5. So if you can just make the internal diameter exactly 5 millimeters, that'll be perfect, because I love the way that these regular the ones that I buy from Pyrodrone, right? They're just meant for the regular 5 millimeter round standoffs, and they grab these hex standoffs beautifully. I guess because they grab on to the they stick to the 5.5 part, but then they squish a little bit, and the narrow part is 4.85. So yeah, if you don't mind, don't undersize them, because then they won't work on these hex standoffs. Wait a second. I lied. Can you undersize them? Can you make them 4.9? I would rather them be stupidly tight and never move because they're for the camera. So yeah, can you undersize them to 4.9? And that way they'll grab on a round and they'll also still work on the hex. Oh, dude, you're the man. Yeah, 4.9 inner diameter would be absolutely effing fantastic. And then I will pimp out the if you put it on Thingiverse, I will pimp out that Thingiverse link, because I'm sure they're going to be the dopest. And it looks like nobody else has them, and anybody that wants to build a 15 mil standoff glide is going to kind of need them. Cool. MotoRef and License to Drive. Can you guys figure out how to talk to each other or something like that? Although, you know what, MotoRef, there's no. Oh, it looks like MotoRef found it. For the floss, yeah, I think that's the one, dude. I think that's the one. This might be even easier. Certainly looks like it's. It certainly sounds like it's the one. Maybe. Ooh, is that the one? So that's definitely not it. What the hell's that? It's a weird looking thing. Oh, I get it. No, that's not it. That's almost it, but that doesn't. Well, that does go in. I think that's the one. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. I think. Because yeah, it goes in, and I mean it's called the same thing, floss 2. What's this other one? That's definitely not the one. I know what that is. That's definitely not the one. It is this one, Motor Ref. License, you're off the hook. This is the this is it right here. Yeah, that's it. Because it comes in just the same amount, and it's and on Pyrodrone it's specific. It calls out that it's for the floss. Yeah, good find, brother. Good find, Motor Ref. Dude, awesome. Yeah, Motor Ref. If you can print me out a whole bunch of these, I will love you forever, and ever and ever and ever and ever. Hey, Mike Duran is here. That's who is saying such a sexy back. What's up, dude? Very cool. I'm going to leave this open because I'm going to save this to my little list of Thingiverse stuff. Very cool. It says for 31 millimeter standoffs. Yeah, that's okay because that's designed for a micro cam, which is 19 millimeters wide. I'm using a nano cam, which is 14 millimeters wide. So it ends up, you know what I mean? Like 31 like 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So that's a 5 mil difference. So 31 down to 27. Yeah, so on the Glide, the standoffs are 27 wide versus 31 wide. That's a 4 millimeter difference, 5 millimeter difference because of the nano cam 14 millimeter wide versus the micro cam, which that's meant for, which is 19 millimeters wide. Look at all those numbers that I know. Ha! Okay, let me swap this out, and I'm gonna close this stream on down so I can get some food so I don't die. Because that's what happens when you don't eat. You die. Do you guys know that? Drives me nuts when skinners don't come off clean. Alright. That. And okay. Oh yeah, I gotta notch this out a little bit here. That's fine. And then I gotta find another piece of shrink wrap to pull this UFL connector down. Come on. Here we go. If you guys didn't know, License to Drive has some really, really cool 3D print stuff on his Thingiverse. License, how do we find your... or are there any mods in the in here that can grab a link to License to Drive's Thingiverse page and drop it in? I would super, super appreciate it because he is the man. And his prints always make me smile because they're just designed like... Whenever I look at his prints, I'm like, oh, look, somebody that overthinks stuff just like me. Perfect. Like, you know, like, I have such an appreciation for other people whose brains never, ever, ever shut off because, like, when they make stuff, it's just like, oh, there's the end-all, be-all of that thing. Properly thought out, no, like, annoyances, no, like, stupid little, like, oh, I wish it had this, or I wish it had that. It's just like, oh, this is perfect. Job done. Alright. Here we go with this. Oh, wrong camera. For hell's sake. Oh, License to Drive, you're a mod. License, post your post a link to your Thingiverse page. Let the people know. Let them know. Don't be modest. Come on, let them know. I don't know if you're actually modest or not. I'm just browbeating you into letting them know. Alright, so I'm going to hit this VHB with a little bit of heat just to try to bring its stickiness level back up. both sides here. All right. And put it right there. Ooh, that's hot. And that guy is stuck on there. Now I just got to get a little piece of shrink wrap around it, and we will be golden. I'm actually going to use the TBS shrink wrap, I think. Or not, because it's not big enough. So, down with that idea. What about this one? Is this one big enough? Yeah, this one's good. Alright, I don't know where the hell this shrink wrap came from, but I'm going to use it. Perfect fit with 14mm camera, 25 distance standoff. Hell yeah. Yeah, these, I couldn't believe it. I bought these from Pyrodrone like forever ago just to have them. And then when I started to put nano cameras in, I realized, like, fuck, my regular camera mounts aren't going to work. And I just happened to have a set of these. And I put them on there and I was like, wait a second. There's no way that fits so perfect. And they've always just been like ridiculously, I guess it could maybe be like maybe 1mm different, but I don't know. I think it might be like absolutely dead on the money perfect. It's always been like just right. So yeah, kind of crazy. Something designed for the floss from 3-4 years ago is being reused on the Glide in a very satisfying way. So there we go. There's a piece of shrink wrap to pull down on the UFL to make sure that it doesn't come disconnected. Sometimes I'll do a second layer just to kind of be double nuts. And yeah, you know, let me do a second layer of the rubber shrink wrap. Let's try this. Let me try to cut a piece and then stretch it out. We'll do the. I'm gonna every single live stream from now on. I'm gonna show you guys how to stretch shrink wrap, and I'm just gonna tell you that you can stretch shrink wrap. If your shrink wrap is not quite big enough to fit around the thing, or if you want it to really pull and really shrink down on something tight, take your shrink wrap, put it into a pair of pliers, and stretch it out. It'll stretch quite a bit. Make sure you stretch it and then rotate it a little bit, because the part that's touching the jaws doesn't stretch very much. And then sometimes even flip it, because the jaws are opened more on one side than the other, right? So you stretch it out a bunch, and then you can fit it over the thing that it previously wasn't big enough to fit over. And then when you stretch it down, it'll go all the way down to the tiny amount that it returns to yeah, super. It shrinks down a ton after you've stretched it. Because as soon as you heat it up, it goes back to its regular size, and then it stretches even more, or it shrinks even more. So yeah, there we go. That didn't even come close to fitting before, and now it fits. And now when this shrinks down, it's going to shrink down stupidly tight, because it's going to go all the way back to its original size, which was too small to begin with, and then it's going to go even farther. Oh, farts. Or it's going to rip. I got it a little too hot. That's the struggle. License to Drive has been stretching shrink wrap for 10 years. He knows what's up. He's a shrink wrap stretcher. Let's try it again. Good to go? I hear you. All right, boys and girls, this is going to be a very quick one. We're going to shut this mother down. I'm going to put this on here. Stretch it. Stretch it this way. I don't think that's going to be quite enough. Let's do it one more time. There we go. That should be enough. On. Oh, come on, get on there. You're so close. You're so close. You can do it. Come on, shrink wrap. Oh, it's so close. Stretch it. You gotta be fast because it kind of like returns. It tries to slowly return to its original shape. There we go. Yeah. Come on. Oh, it's shrinking as I do. There it goes. All right, and then let's just use the lighter this time. The lighter is a little bit gentler of a heat. Lighter, and we're good. Already got the VHB on there. Twist it, stick it down. Away we go. Bing, bang, boom. New VTX on there. Thanks for hanging out, friends. You guys are the best. My name's Aaron Ciotti. CiottiFPV.com has a million ways that you can help me keep going on this crazy adventure that you're with. That you're with me on. Here's some flying. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Later.
Love me cause I'm poppin'. This a layup, this a rebound, then it's robbing. Tyson with the fade, not the hair